fucker.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
I think you should start again.
This has got after a
I
flying
just
start.
called you a fucker in the background.
Okay.
Start again. Wipe this.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first ever podcast. This is called M is the Word, or M's the Word. Sorry, I should really know the name of our fucking podcast. Okay.
I want to say that M's the word, but...
Okay, you start. You intro us.
No, you intro us and I'll just say
Okay,
it's
fine.
called
Okay.
M's the word.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first ever podcast. What the hell? Hannah, come on, man. M's the word. That's all you need to say.
Please tell me you're not using any of this.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this all in. This is all
No,
about
no,
it's
no, you
unedited raw.
can't.
We have to. This is what
We don't have to.
I know we don't, but I'm going to.
Okay.
Right, have another sip of our drink. We've just got to get the hello and what this is out of the way, and then maybe it will all come together. Maybe we can save it.
Do you know
from
what's
there.
funny though? I always find whenever I'm filming a video, the first 2 minutes is the hardest. Once you've got over the intro, everything's okay. Everything just rolls off the tongue after that. The intro, I cannot tell you how many times I'm like, oh, fucking idiot. Oh, I hate that.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
shut up, Hannah.
okay. Well, how about we just get the intro done now, and then,
Yeah,
then we'll
let's
be
do
fine.
it.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first ever podcast.
M's the word.
That's it. Make yourself at home.
Oh, that was really
it was
irritating, wasn't it?
horrible,
M's the word. Oh, we should introduce ourselves.
Okay, do that first.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know us, I'm Hannah. This is my husband, Stefan. Say hello, Stefan.
Hi.
Some of you may know us already from YouTube and Instagram, and we thought we would give this whole podcasting thing a little go.
I feel like we're two puffed out, burnt out YouTubers chasing after the wagon, which has taken off a long time ago. Everyone else is busy podcasting, and we're like, wait for us. We want to jump on the wagon.
Can I tell you, though, my reservations for doing a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
It feels a lot more vulnerable somehow than creating video content and taking photographs.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think because you're new to it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I just need to relax.
Yeah.
Chill the fuck out, Hannah.
Yeah,
Nags.
calm down. You need some Ritalin or something. Anyway, yes.
Do you have any?
Feel free to... No, I don't actually.
Damn.
Feel free to listen to us anywhere. You could listen to this anywhere you like. You could walk into a forest and sit down against a tree stump and relax and slip off your trousers, or we could just listen to us chat about something trivial and ill-informed. You could listen to us through headphones in a graveyard while you visit a loved one. You could take us onto a crowded bus and play it through a Bluetooth speaker really loudly so everyone around you can get the enjoyment for free.
I like that option, but there's no crowded buses anymore, Stefan.
Oh,
literally.
yes.
You're so fucking inconsiderate.
I'm so out of touch. Well, that's what living in Bath does to you. You're completely out of touch living in this weird bubble. Anyway, yes, Hannah and I live in Bath.
This is the worst intro ever.
Hang on, no, we'll get there. We'll pull it back. We live in Bath right now, which is a small city in Somerset. It's got about a population of about 90,000 people. Lots of ex-Londoners live here. We ourselves are ex-Londoners. That's where we met in foggy old London, didn't we, Hannah Mags?
We did.
How long ago was it we met?
9 years?
Yeah, it must have been 9 years. It wasn't love at first sight with Hannah. I didn't love her because I didn't know her. She could have been a bit of a penis. You know, you never know with people.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
No, of course not, because the person
No.
could be a dick. How do you know they're not
The
a
weird
dick?
thing is, though, I feel like, going off on a bit of a tangent here, I feel like when I went on a date with you, bearing in mind I really didn't want to go on a date with you.
Yeah, you blew me out how many times? Three before?
times.
Yeah.
I went on this date with you, and then it was this really strange feeling I'd never felt before, where I just knew I didn't want to be with anyone else.
Yeah.
And I can't explain it. I feel like you can only really understand it if you have felt it.
I still remember the night really viscerally. It's just all gone so fast, hasn't it? And now suddenly we've got these two boys and a dog, and we live in Bath, and we like blinked and suddenly we're here.
It is mad
Yeah.
how fast the time has gone.
Anyway, yeah, so our second name is Mitchellak. We're over here stealing all the podcast jobs. Hang on, wait there. This is really bad. Hang on, 1 second. I'm going to say that bit again.
What the fuck conversation was that supposed to be?
Oh no, one second.
Our second name is Michalak.
Yeah, one sec.
Like what?
Here we go. One
This
sec.
is not. You've planned all of this. This is not.
Our second name is
conversation.
Michalak, which is a Polish surname. I'm over here stealing all the podcast jobs. Yeah, that's right. I've invested in a soundboard, a Rodecaster Pro for this.
I know. I've seen it.
We're taking it seriously. I've got some sound effects. So I might throw those in there for the novelty value every now and again. So anyway, we've been in Bath for about 4 years. We've been making YouTube videos for about 6 or 7.
No, it's longer than that.
This podcast is our USP, I suppose, is that we're going to try and keep it as raw as possible. We're not going to try and over edit it. Our YouTube videos are known for being quite hyper realized, very highly edited, whereas we want to balance that out with something that's a bit more raw.
I think that's the thing that scares me a little bit about doing a podcast, is because I feel like in real life I don't have a filter, and like online you can really easily edit yourself, or you can refilm something, or you kind of can take another picture if you don't look so good or whatever. But in a podcast I'm like, oh, this is just me and like my word vomit.
Exactly. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. And I think that
those are the podcasts that I really enjoy listening to, though, where it's like it's a really natural and you just feel like you could be sat in the room with somebody. And that's really what I would like people to feel like when they listen to us. I want them to feel like you're just sat in a room with your friends having a chat.
Can I just say right now, we're both, just for those listening to us, to give you some context, we're filming this as well for our YouTube channel, but we are sat in my office. The kids are in bed. It's about, what time is it now? 8 o'clock.
The Ocado shop has just arrived. It's sitting in the hallway downstairs, unpacked.
We had to wait for that to arrive.
Which makes me a little bit anxious because there's a whole chicken in there.
It's fine. It's fine. So it's dark outside. We've just said goodbye to pretty much the last warm day. It's now autumn's fully kicking in. We got the heating fired up for the first time last night, didn't we?
You were so stingy about that. I was literally...
You wanted to put the heating on when you were in bed.
I was wearing a hoodie to bed because I was so cold, and Steph was like, we're not putting the heating on yet.
You're going to be asleep.
And you know what I did? I went downstairs and to put the dog back downstairs, and I put the heating on.
You didn't.
I did.
Coney, that's really bad.
Why?
Because environmental reasons.
I was nice and warm. The children were nice and warm. Rufus slept in, and I'm sure it's because his room was nice and warm.
I'm putting a password on our Hive heating system now, so you can't get into it. Look at me like you want to stab me. I won't do that. I don't even know if you can do that, to be honest. Anyway, so what this podcast is going to be, we're going to be trying loads of different things. What we're going to do is it's going to be like a bit of a going into Topshop when you've got like a big bundle of clothes and you try them all on and you see which things make you look sexy and which ones make you look like a massive tit, and we'll do it that way. So we'll try different things, different format, we'll play with different things and we'll see what works.
Can I just say what my favourite thing about this situation right now is?
What?
Is that one of our neighbours has some really good wood that they're burning on their fire, and I can smell it coming in through the window, and it smells like, you know, that perfect autumn nostalgia smell. It smells exactly like that, and I wish I could work out where it's coming from so I can knock on their door and be like, excuse me, where do you buy your wood?
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to invite guests on. We'll do written pieces, featured pieces. Hannah might do wood reviews on the log burner. aroma reviews on certain
if anyone knows any good smelling wood, let me know.
I might even do an agony aunt section.
Oh my god, I would love to do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, we should. Richard Madeley does it for the Telegraph, so you know it's open season.
Yeah, maybe we should do one agony aunt at the end of each episode, like in the third section.
I like the idea. Yeah, we should do that.
Not that like either of us are qualified to in any way give anyone an advice, but
yeah. Anyway, we're gonna throw mud at the wall, see what sticks. That's what we're gonna do. So let's get started. Let's kick things off. But before we start, I have a very important job to do. We're building this thing together as you're listening. We're kind of working it all out and building it together. So what this really needs, this podcast, is a jingle. All podcasts have to have some sort of jingle.
Hit me.
So I've selected 8 options.
8?
8 options. And then you can give me a yes, no, or maybe on each one.
Okay.
And let me get a pen and paper so I can write this down. Have you got a pen over there next to you in the pen pot? There's about 15 million pens.
You've got an overflowing pen pot.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Hannah. I want a yes, no, and a maybe for each one, please. Okay. Each one of them made me think of something. So I'm going to tell you what they made me think of before I play it to you, okay?
Won't that hinder my opinion?
I hope not. This one made me think
it's like a psychological experiment.
Yeah, really naff one. This one made me think of finding my favourite pair of jeans at the bottom of a washing basket after losing them for a couple of months.
Oh, I like that.
You ready? Let's go.
That's a good feeling. I feel good about this.
Yeah, you found the jeans, of course you did.
There's a very 80s film feel about it.
And we're 80s
like
kids.
a really like Tom Hanks back in the day and big. Like yeah, I like that.
Okay, so you're a yes for that one.
I'm
okay.
Yes for
Great.
that.
I love
but it is slightly aggressive and it is of our era and it shows our age. But hey, I'm a yes.
I love the fact I just scraped into being an 80s kid. Oh, the kids are awake. That's annoying. Oh no. But that's hopefully
life.
they'll go back to sleep.
Who is it?
I heard Rufus. Let's hope it.
I think he's just getting kicked out of Grayson's room. Grayson invited him to sleep in his room and he's obviously irritated.
That never works out. That never works out.
Grayson is our 6-year-old. Rufus is our 3-year-old.
Yeah. Okay. This one reminded me of a friend I had this is a true story. I had a friend when I was in my early teens and he got a tattoo on his ankle of a knife. Yeah, I think it was a rebellious thing. And the handle of the knife looked like a cock. So this is reminding me of that.
I actually like this. I like it, but I wish you hadn't told me the knife cock story.
I've been keeping that one for years.
I know.
Yes, no.
I've never had that in the whole 9 years. Normally it's like recycled material when you're married.
Is it yes, no, or maybe,
one.
Hannah Mags?
That's a maybe. Just because of the cock.
Sure. Okay. The next one made me think of the time I was.
How can I handle it like a cock?
Oh, we've got
Can you
situation.
draw it for me? We may need to pause.
Yeah, we're going to have to pause because one of the kids. Okay, let's pause because we've got to sort out some child issues.
I went down for the food shop. It's your turn.
Okay, one sec.
We're back.
We're back. Sorry about that. I had to tell my son to go to bed. Quite a simple command, but hard for him to grasp it at 3. Yeah, this reminded me of the time I was 12 years old and I went to a barber and I asked for a grade 1 undercut. I had curtains. I wanted this big grade 1 undercut. And he made me call my mum.
Grade 1 is like basically a skinhead, right?
Right,
Am I allowed to say skinhead anymore?
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
okay, good.
I'm
I'm so scared about cancel culture. I'm like, can I say
we can
this?
maybe talk about that one time.
I'm a little bit out of touch as well because all I do is like work and look after kids. So I'm like, am I allowed to say this? Am I okay?
This is the time I went to the hairdresser.
Okay, you've said, yeah. Play the tune.
He made me call my Irish mum for her to confirm that I was allowed to get the grade 1 undercut because it was quite a reckless hairdo. Anyway, here we go.
I love this. I think it's up there with the the 80s vibe. I'm just loving the 80s vibe. The stories I'm not loving so much.
This one reminded me of the when you check into a Premier Inn. What do you think? Yes, no, maybe.
I feel like for a certain section of the podcast that could work.
Your idea section.
Like, so if it was like what you're recommending that week or something,
great,
like,
love that.
Yeah.
Okay, this one made me think of feeling a bit crummy, so ordering a NutriBullet to make me feel better.
Hate that one.
No. Okay, fine. Put it down for no. This one, what's the dog barking at? This one reminds me of the time.
He's getting all pepped up. You know when he does the pre-bark when he's like,
yeah. George, chill out. This one made me think of tripping, but styling out the trip by converting it into a short jog.
I hate that. It's far too aggressive.
Okay. That's a no. This one.
Hello, my baby.
This one made me think of having a nice long weekend away and getting back home without any hiccups.
Mate, Maybe.
For a section?
Yeah.
I put it down for a maybe. Maybe. And the last one, this one made me think of, well, it reminded me that we're destroying the planet, but it's okay because everything's finite anyway. I think that's my favourite, you know. You're a maybe or no?
I was a no.
Oh, you're a no. Okay, well, you've got veto.
I was a strong no.
Oh, fine. Okay, so you
But-
really like 1 and...
But if you really
3.
like it, then you go with it.
So you want to go for this one.
You go, Glen Coco. See, I love this 80s. I love the 80s shit.
Okay, you like that one. And you like 3 as well, which is this one.
I think I prefer number 1 though.
Okay. M's the word.
Oh, that made me vomit in my mouth a little bit.
Okay.
Do you know what I've been finding really satisfying recently? And I think it may be like a woman in her early 30s thing.
What's that?
Digressing massively from your jingle. A hip click. I love a good hip click.
Oh, Christ.
Do you ever do that though, where you're like, you just put your legs like a frog and click?
And I so remember my mum having
Feels
hip
so
clicks.
good when you get it and you get the really good click. It's like really satisfying.
Yeah, I remember mum hip clicks.
Maybe I'm just getting to that age though where I'm like, oh yes, hip click.
Maybe film it. Maybe record it next time. It's probably a niche market for people who want to listen to mum hip clicks.
Hip click
I
ASMR.
bet there is.
Yeah, like a really good
Do you
pop.
remember-
I'd love to hear a good pop, a good hip click pop.
Do you remember the first time when we were doing YouTube and we put up a video and somebody asked you for like a flexing arm video or something, didn't they? In the comments, like, can I see more flexing videos or something? Some people are into like weird stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
I feel sometimes a little bit jealous that I haven't got any of those weird things.
Sometimes though, like there's a few podcasts I listen to and when somebody does something and I hear the sound of it, it really irritates me. Like I'm doing it now, but when someone drinks while they're recording a podcast, that really bothers me. But then other noises like opening something, I really enjoy.
Mm.
So I can see why there would be
It's
a
funny
market for that.
because sometimes I'm eating and I'm sitting next to you. You don't even have to say anything, but I know you're getting so annoyed, even though I'm so trying to eat as quiet as I can, barely masticating, like really delicately doing it. I can still
honey,
feel the
you
rage.
are not delicate.
Honey,
You
I
are the
am.
last thing. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like you are not delicate.
I went to finishing school. I know how to masticate my food. Thank you very much. Anyway,
Finishing school. I wish you went to finishing school. Hey, maybe I could get you that for your birthday.
right. So we basically bought George about a year ago, and he's our dog. He's our Dachshund, our sausage dog. He gets so much attention when we're out, which is bizarre because I think Rufus is way cuter, but George will still get way more attention than Rufus. Rufus being our 3-year-old. Anyway, everyone seems to love George. He's great, but he is a massive pervert.
Are we really going there? Are we really doing this?
I want to oust him. Yeah, I think he needs to be. Everyone
This is such a weird conversation to have on a podcast.
I think if anyone's thinking about buying a Dachshund or a sausage dog, you need to be fully aware that they could end up being a pervert.
I don't think that that's a sausage dog thing. I think that's just a dog thing.
You think so? Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, my dog when I was a kid, she used to like hump my teddies.
Oh no, that's
Like
okay.
she was worse than George. Like there's this one particular teddy that she really liked that was like a big sheepdog, like a fluffy,
But she was a
big,
girl.
massive.
Why would she
Yeah,
hump it?
I
She
know.
was-
This is what I'm saying. Like, it's a big sheepdog,
Yeah.
£9 from Trago Mills. Really liked it, but she took a liking to it, and then it just really stank of
Oh.
dog humpage.
Oh God, no! George takes a liking to Hannah's underwear, so
He loves the laundry pile.
yeah.
Let's
the,
just put
the
it like
dirty
that.
laundry pile. He'll go in there and he'll fish out some lacy little thing, and you'll just see him slink off away with it really sheepishly, and then just find a quiet little corner and have a good old whatever he does with it.
I
yeah.
found his new favourite hiding place.
Where's that?
You know, so over the past couple of weeks, I've been working a lot from our bedroom. I have a desk in our bedroom where my computer is. and I've been bringing him up with me, and sometimes he'll like slink away and I won't notice for a little bit, and then I'm like, oh, where's he gone? Because you can't trust him.
No, you
He's
can't.
sneaky. He's a sneaky little fuck.
Yeah.
And he snuck off to the laundry pile, and he's got a pair of my knickers, and he's like taking it underneath the bench behind that's in front of our bed.
He's such a...
That's his new place. That's where he takes them.
Yeah, so they're perverts. So if you're going to get a Dachshund, be aware that you could be investing in a perv. I don't know where to go with that from that.
Can we do recommendations? Because I would love to do a couple of recommendations.
Yeah, but before we do the recommendations, I feel like that should be something like we cover last. I think I just want to quickly talk about... some things I've been thinking about recently. A couple of things that just came into my head. Just like random thoughts that came into my head. I've got a younger sister, Katie, and bless her. She used to always have these kind of girl magazines around. What are they called? Like Bella or something? What are they called? Just 17 or something? Was it?
Shout,
all that kind of stuff.
Shout was a great
Shout.
one.
I think that was what she had.
I remember getting to an age where I was allowed Shout and being like, oh my God, I'm so grown up. I've got Shout.
Yeah, well, she'd have that floating around. So I'd pick it up and think, right, I want to understand these females and see what they're thinking and what motivates them. And I'd read it, and there'd be these sections where people would write in, and they would write in and they would talk about like these quite racy things that happened. So they might be like, oh, I was in a shop and I was trying on some clothes, and suddenly a guy came into one of the guys who was really hot, and he who worked there, and he was really good looking, and he came into the changing room, and we had passionate sex, and then I've never seen him again. And I'd read it thinking, wow, that's what you do? You barge into changing rooms and you go for it?
I think most of those columns, sorry to burst your bubble, are just written by journalists.
I only know that they are because I worked in that industry, and you're completely right. They are. Yes, I know.
But they do it for like the shock value, and people love a little bit of drama. So like that's what's going to keep the girls buying the magazines, because they're like, oh, what's going to be in the feature this week? Yeah,
it was. I remember it with the horoscopes as well. That would just be somebody be like, oh God, who's turning to do the bloody horoscopes this week? And somebody just have to write any old shit.
I remember always reading my horoscope. It was right at the back of the magazine. I think it was Shout that I used to get. And I remember reading it and being like, God, it's so vague. Like, of course all this stuff happened to me, because it probably happened to everybody else this month. Although, star signs are having a comeback. Like, they're really fashionable right now. Like, horoscopes and, like, all of that stuff.
The sort of person who's into star signs is the same person who has, like, Wanderer written in their profile on Twitter. Anyway, another thought I had was, do you ever get home from school and put on Home and Away? It was a thing. 80s kid thing. Yeah. Well, you'd have Home and Away first, which was never quite as good as Neighbours, and then Neighbours would come afterwards.
Oh my God, please put the Neighbours jingle in, just for the people that...
We'll get copyright flagged.
Oh, will we? Should we sing it? No.
No. Nobody wants to hear old parents that live in Bath singing their Neighbours theme tune.
That's a great theme tune, though. Like, one that you can really sing along to.
It's not great.
None of the other soaps have that.
Horrific.
I know it is, but it's great.
Horrible. It's just such it's like the Happy Birthday song all over again. Just a disgusting melody. I hate it. Anyway,
you're passionate about that.
Anyway, remember they used to just randomly swap an actor out. They'd randomly, like, you'd have this mum all of a sudden who just had blonde hair and she'd brunette the whole time, completely different looking, and they would just style it out and not even address it.
Yeah, and they just completely carry on with the script, like everyone.
But there was no internet. For no internet or anything back then, so you couldn't be like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, why have you done this? I don't like this person.
There was nothing, so you just had to accept it back in the day.
Yeah. Do you know what? They do that still with voices on kids' cartoons, though. They do still do that.
I don't want to veer this into a dark place, but it's...
oh, you veer. I love a dark place.
But... with the Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Oh.
Okay.
He went
I'll quickly steer in and steer out. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll steer in and steer out. Why he thought he could get away with it.
You do a 3-point turn. Get out of this.
Why he thought he could get away with it is because he didn't realise at the time, like nobody did, that everybody would be interconnected in about 10, 15 years, whatever, from when he did it all. So he didn't realise it. So it's like when we were kids, none of us realised that. There was almost like this... I mean, that was the dark side of it, but there was a beauty behind having no recourse for just being a twat when you were younger.
Yeah, I can't imagine being a teenager in the present day and like worrying about if somebody takes a picture of you or how you look online and which friends reply, and like being a kid and a teenager is hard enough as it is, like without adding that whole extra layer of the online version of you.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's also veering into a whole another conversation that could be a whole podcast.
I think so too. I think what's bizarre to us is seeing these parallels between a normal human being who you know and interact with, but like the digital alter ego of them, who is like an interpreted, highly editorialized version of them, which they project. It's fascinating, and it's like it's weird how you live in these parallels. But
yeah, I find it really interesting. But I feel like you have to be just mindful of the fact that everybody knows that things that you see on the internet are edited, and there's so many filters out at the moment, and nothing is like as it seems, basically.
That filter that you can use that makes you look handsome is so
Oh,
terrifying.
the one that you've got on what's it called? Facetune.
This
is how out of touch I am. I'm like, what's it called?
I can't remember what the app's called.
Facey.
Something
Facey?
like that. I think something like that. Like, God knows, there's loads of them. But
my God, it's so depressing though, because I remember you put the filter on me and I was like, oh, I wish I looked like that.
No, you fancied the version of me so much more than you fancy me. Like, you lit up. You went all like flustered and red. It's like, what the hell?
I was like, there's my boy.
Yeah, it's dangerous seeing that.
That's why you got the hair transplant.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, Hannah Mags, on our first ever podcast. Yes, I did get
I
a
love
hair
the way that
transplant.
when Steph gets angry at me, he calls me by my maiden name.
It was a very small hair transplant. There wasn't a big one. It was like a teeny one. It was like a little tiny one that just for...
I know, it really wasn't worth it.
Well, we will be in a year's time. I look like Harry Styles.
Well, it'll be worth it when you stop talking about it.
Well, you one that brought it up.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, the beauty of this podcast is that it may car crash at times, but it's quite, people like seeing a good car crash, don't they? People slow down, wind their windows down, look out the window, soak it all in. People love a car crash. So we're going to leave the car crashes in. I think it's important to leave them in. So when they do veer off track and car crash. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the face thing, because I want to give you some predictions. I predict that what will happen is tech companies have already experimented this with Google and stuff like that, but and Apple are coming into this market, but augmented reality, so it will project something into your reality. So
it would project that filter over you. Oh,
yes,
that's so sad. I don't
sad,
like
but that's
that.
what will happen.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I know you don't have to. It doesn't matter what you like; it's going to happen. You'll be able to project.
Although maybe it might be convenient on an evening where I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered to put
put
I
David
can't
Gandy
be bothered
filter
to
on me.
dress up tonight or put makeup on.
Yeah.
I'll just put who's that really hot woman? Margot Robbie. I'll just be Margot Robbie for the evening.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I feel like we should probably now is a good time to go into our recommendations for the week.
Yes, I've been waiting for this.
Okay,
moment.
Hannah Mags, what's your recommendation?
Well, I feel like we have a shared recommendation.
Very much so.
It's an ITV 3-part drama, would you say? It said 3-part series, but I feel like a series is longer than 3 episodes. So I'm going to call it a 3-part drama, even though it's classed as a 3-part series. It is Des, which is a series or drama on ITV. And it is about a serial killer in the 80s. Was it the 80s? Or was it earlier than that?
It's set in 1983.
Okay, so I was right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's like a credit to the people that did all the set design then, because it was of its time.
Yeah, it was.
It was incredible. It's a series about
Dennis Nilsson,
aka Des, who was a serial killer in the 80s in North London. I think the clever thing about this series was that you don't actually ever see anything that he did. It's kind of all just talked about, and it's the trial, and
there's one scene we don't see anything, but there's a head boiling in a pot, and the guy's like, don't look in that pot.
Oh,
and almost
this is the thing about this recommendation, is that I would say if you do not enjoy dark,
macabre, dense stuff,
it's quite heavy going, but it is beautifully done. It's very well filmed. It's so well scripted. David Tennant, who plays Des, in that role, he's just sensational.
One of my favourite ever actors. I love this guy because this guy was my intro to theatre many years ago. The first time I went and saw something in a theatre which kind of blew me away and made me think, wow, I'd never respected it as a medium before, because everything I saw before that was kind of Shakespeare and a bit, too much for my little juvenile brain to comprehend. But I went to see this play once in Sloane Square in a little theatre, underground theatre, and it was very small. It's probably about 200 capacity, 300 capacity maybe. And it was called The Winterling, and it was a very dark play. We're going back like 15 years now. And the lead actor was called Daniel Mays, and he plays the lead in Des, who's the sergeant. I remember when he was in this play thinking, how the fuck is he remembering all of these lines? He's for like the best part of 2 hours. It's constant dialogue with him, just him and one other person. I remember being blown away at the memory that they must have to remember those lines. How do they? We can't even remember a bloody. We've done shoots where we've had to remember a line or two.
Oh my God. Do you remember that one shoot we did where you had to say something about chicken noodle soup? And
oh my God.
And every single time you fucked up and you'd be like, chicken noodle, fuck.
Or what
chicken noodle, fuck.
What about the time, because you kind of get a bit of stage
and the whole cast ended up hating you.
Yeah, no, the time that we did the one for IKEA in our last house, when we had to say something really simple, but the sound guy was getting really angry, and I could see him getting angry because he was like, I wanted to go home, and I just couldn't get out the simple line. Because,
it was the last bit of the day.
Yeah,
like, it was the last line
so
you had
like,
to deliver, and you were panicking.
In these bloody YouTubers' house where they can't spit out one simple bloody line.
What was the line?
Because he looked so cross, I couldn't say the line because I was so aware that he was so cross, and it was making it worse, and it was spiraling myself into
too much pressure.
Oh my God, the pressure just got so unbearable. I'm so sorry, everyone. I think I had to go for a walk around the block just to say the simple line. I think it was basically like, thanks for watching, goodbye.
I just remember the chicken noodle fuck.
Yeah.
Chicken noodle fuck was my favourite.
It's
the whole crew, like at the beginning, it was funny for like the first 5 times.
Yeah.
And then after that, everyone was just like, fuck, what is this guy?
Do you not feel like sometimes when you're delivering a line, you have a version of you watching you being like, you twat, you look like an absolute, you look at the way you're saying that, you are awful. Do you have that little person? No?
Yeah.
You do?
I mean, that's all I am. I hate watching myself back, and I hate listening to myself, particularly because I hate my voice, which is really great when you're just starting a podcast. So I hate my voice, and I hate seeing myself on camera, and I hate looking at pictures of myself, which is really weird, seeing as that's basically what I do.
Hannah and I, for our last video that we put up on our YouTube channel, was just us watching a video back from about 5 years ago, and it broke us. It was one of the hardest, most difficult things we've had to sit through.
I felt really depressed after that.
Yeah, I was
like
so angry.
literally for like a day after that, I just felt really down.
Yeah, that's what it does to you.
I was
It's
like,
weird.
oh, I hate myself.
I know, and there I am being like, oh, aren't these great for the kids to watch back one day? I'm like,
can I
no.
tell you that I just ordered a book? Let me tell you the title of this book that I just ordered, because I think I've got issues.
What's the book?
The book is Steph and I had 3 courses of drinks this evening. So the first course is wine for me, whiskey for Steph. Second course is a glass of water, which you haven't had yet.
No, I need that.
And now the third course is peppermint tea.
Cold peppermint tea. It's quite nice, actually.
Cold peppermint tea is so nice. Any peppermint tea. So this book, sorry, digressing, is called...
Is this one of your recommendations, by the way?
No, because I haven't read the book yet.
Okay.
Oh, this is embarrassing. Just
What are you doing?
searching for the name of the book. Oh, here it is. It's just giving it to me collectively. Oh, here we go. Because I ordered a bike helmet also.
Oh, did you? Good.
Yeah, because mine fell apart and the kids put kinetic sand in it, so it's just not enjoyable for me anymore. Sabotage.
You should never buy a helmet online. You should always try one helmet online.
I ordered the same helmet that I've already got.
Okay.
So I know it fits me. It's called Sabotage: How to Silence Your Inner Critic and Get Out of Your Own Way by Emma Gannon.
That sounds interesting.
And I thought, well, that sounds like a book I need to read, because I literally hate looking and listening to myself, and that's what I do.
I might have a read of that one.
Yeah.
I hate that inner critic. It always gets in the way of everything.
I have real issues with that, where everything I do, I'm like, even silly things like if I put my bike lock on and I'm fiddling around with it and I'm doing it in a bit of an awkward way, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, you fucking idiot. Why did you do it like that? And then I'm like, God, why are you so mean to yourself? Like,
I've ordered a book called Suicide of the West: How the Rebirth of Tribalism, Nationalism and Socialism is Destroying American Democracy. That should be a nice light read before bed.
Well, that sounds heavy going.
Yeah. I hope you liked our first podcast. It would be wonderful if you could do us a favour, if you got this far down the road and if you're stuck with it, If
Thank
you,
you, by the way,
yeah.
if that happened, and also sorry.
Yeah, if you could do us a little favour, it would mean a lot to us, and it would really help us keep these going, because we'd like to keep doing them. And that's give us a review wherever you watched it.
Review scares me. I'm like, don't give us a review.
But if you could just say something like that was nice. I enjoyed that podcast. If you could review it, it would mean the world to us. But I want to read the reviews, but I want you to put something secret in the review. So I want it to be like a secret message.
And we can read out anonymous secrets. That'll be fun.
Yeah, but how can we do
It'd be like
this?
reading someone's diary. I love that.
I haven't prepared what the secret element of this could be. What could they do?
Any secret.
No, but we want it to look like a normal review without some gibberish in it. But like, there's got to be something in there. Maybe start the review off with
Can you not just be like, "This is nice. Return.
No,
return.
no,
Return.
look awful. People think we're Russian bots. No, don't do that. No, let's maybe start your review off with the letter M, for M's the word, and then anyone who's got to the end and they start the review off with the letter M will know. This has been inspired by the secret at the end of the podcast. Let's try that anyway. Like I said, we're trying on clothes.
Do you know what we didn't do that you said was a really good idea last night?
What's that?
You wanted to read out old pages of my diary.
We'll do that, I think, in the next video. Next.
It's kind of
podcast.
like a secret.
Yeah. Hannah's dug up some old diaries of when she was a little rugrat.
Some of them are so funny.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff I wrote down, I'm like, why did I write that down? Like the one I said to you about yesterday, where I was like, I think I fancy Peter. I text Ellie to tell her. She hasn't texted me back yet.
You need to write that down, that she hasn't texted back.
I write that.
Yeah. I've got headphones on right now, and I'm listening to Hannah's voice through my headphones, and it's so much nicer hearing her through a microphone.
Do you enjoy my voice?
Well, when I can hear it like directly through the mic into my ears, it's so much nicer than travelling through a bunch of bloody.
Do you know what I've just realised that we're really bad at being concise?
We're learning. We're learning. We're literally we're just newborns coming into this world, flailing around, not knowing what's going on, just babbling nonsense. But soon,
I feel
we'll
like
develop.
there's a lot of flailing.
We'll develop into something that can comprehend the universe, understand it, make sense of it, and then thrive.
How many years is that going to take?
It won't take us long. We'll be there. Trust me. We just need to believe in ourselves. Where am I going with this? Sorry, I wanted to finish it on a positive rather than be like, oh, sorry. Sorry, it's gone wrong. I thought we could
anyway, play the jingle and let's say
should we
goodbye,
end it on the jingle that
it's
you
a
like,
really
okay?
car crashing now.
It's not that bad. No, it's gone really well. Don't do this, Hannah. She always does this.
Oh my God, I really need to read that sabotage book.
Anyway.
I'm going to read the sabotage book, and then next week I'm going to let you guys know how fucking great I feel.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sabotaging myself anymore.
Anyway, let's leave it on a jingle. Thanks you so much for watching. Please give us...
Oh, that was a little Dutch man in you.
Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciated your charm. This is the one thing that not many people know about me. I can nail every accent,
oh my God.
especially the Dutch accent, which is just very similar to German, though. German and Dutch is very similar. Hang on. German is a bit more like this. If you
please stop.
Do you want to come and visit my city? We have really nice Christmas markets. Yeah, any accent. You request the accents, and I'll do them. Anyway, thank you. What the hell? Sorry, I went to finishing school. How did I not nail that? Thank you for listening. It's been wonderful to spend some time with you. I hope you have a really pleasant day. You can open your eyes now. You can stand up and pull your trousers up, and you can go off and continue your day. I think I've had too much whiskey.
I think you have too.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Say goodbye, Hannah.
You don't need to tell me to say goodbye.